My 15-year-old son was upset that we wouldn't move states away so he could be closer to his girlfriend, so he got her pregnant on purpose and is now trying to force our hand. Posted by you/no_pool_7823. Throwaway for obvious reasons. I, 30F, have a child who is 15M, we'll call him Ollie, plus other children aged 2, 6, 9, and 11. As you can tell by my age, I was a teen parent. I was lucky, we married at 18, are still married, have a healthy relationship, and worked our way out of a very dire situation, graduated, started a trade, etc. We are comfortable and stable in all ways. This information is relevant. Ollie has been friends with a girl, we'll call her Bree, since he was 7 years old. Her family used to live in the same city as us, and they went to the same school and had the same friendship group. We know her parents and are long-distance friends ourselves, not close friends, but we say hello when the kids are on video chat and have had drinks together before. Bree's family moved to a very small town 3 states away due to rental affordability, no secret. We've all talked about the rising costs of everyday life. The cost of living in this city has risen, forcing many locals out. They moved because of that and for better job opportunities 18 months ago. Since then, Ollie has been begging for us to follow, giving us a sales pitch on cheaper housing, better paying jobs, none of which fit either of our professions, etc. We have said no because, well, no. But even if we wanted to, our other children are in school, sports, and have friends here. Selling and buying another house, finding work outside of our skill set, or having to learn new skills, any normal adult would understand this. He does not. Well, fast forward to Christmas, Bree's family came back to our city for a holiday, and the kids met up multiple times. It was my understanding that they were always with the other kids, but obviously not, since Bree is pregnant, and I am certain it was on purpose. He has access to condoms, I don't care for opinions on that. My access was restricted, and I had him. He has had the talk from me, my husband, and school. He knows damn well how babies are made and how not to have one. Ollie now wants me to move to be with her and the baby, it's confirmed. I've talked to her parents, and I said no. I don't feel I need a reason, but he asked. You're 15, we don't have any proof it's your child yet. I'm not moving us away from our lives, and you aren't going alone until you're 18. We will do a DNA test, then we will look at parenting plans, and I topped it off with a too bad, too sad, you made your bed, now you have to sleep in it. He took that back to Bree, and now all communication between me and her parents has been cut. I'm a terrible person. My comments about the DNA test are disgusting, and it's fueling my son's hate for me. He says I am keeping him from the love of his life and future baby, using my own successful relationship as proof that it will work out. I actually don't even know if I am right or not. I'm just really upset and feel like the life I worked really hard for has been destroyed. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Quite the manipulative teen you've got there. But by teen logic, his plan makes perfect sense. From any point of view, though, you can't give in to his plan, it would ruin you financially, ruin his relationship with his siblings, and yours with him. I would give him a detailed plan on how you and your partner managed to rise above all the risks of teen pregnancy. Focus on school, plan ahead, and make sure the village is on board. And of course, highlight how lucky you both were that it all worked out, despite having to sacrifice so much. How does he expect you to support his child without your jobs? But he made the choice to become a parent. So now, he will have to do what you did, focus on school, get stability, and make sure to stay in both his and her parents' good graces. They can be the village they'll desperately need. There is nothing he can do to support his girlfriend physically. And as a jab, he's done enough physical support for a good while to come. He doesn't have a job. No way to provide financially. All he can do is focus on being able to do that well, and as soon as possible. So by the time he's ready to go partying, no, he isn't. He's going to bed early to get up for his weekend job, to save up for his kid. Commenter 2. The girl is just as bad as the son. Obviously, she was on board, and it sure seems like they both kept it under wraps until it couldn't be terminated. Both children are bad actors here. Ops response. I think it was 100% planned on both sides, and this was Christmas. She's around 24 weeks, I believe, and way past the point of termination. They also never told us until 20 weeks. Her family knew but never contacted me. Update 1 day later. To answer some questions. She is due around September 22nd, so no, termination is not an option. I don't think that, or adoption, was ever considered. Ollie admitted it was on purpose last night. Apparently, it was Bree's idea first as a joke, which turned into a plan they made together. Bree's parents will only pass messages through my son, and I've heard this for myself. I stood outside the door and listened to them tell him, "Tell your mother XYZ," because I know I'll just go off on her about that BS still. They are talking crap about me with my kid. They are appalled that I would think that way about Bree when I've known her for more than half her life and now do not wish to talk to me. I will not allow him to move out there alone. There are some past issues, such as Bree breaking up with him twice in the last 18 months because she found someone she liked more in her new town, around August and October last year, same boy, and when it ended, she came back to Ollie. Bree is a nice girl, but her behavior is toxic and has been since childhood. Her mother and stepfather are nice, but the relationship is unstable, and the house is chaos, 9 children combined in a blended family, with 2 or 3 teens experiencing serious mental health struggles. He would be leaving stability for chaos and no structure. I want a DNA test. I will not budge on that. I'm close to cutting his contact totally at this point because they are only empowering him and reinforcing his behavior towards me and his father. His father is a man of few words, which is unhelpful. So far, he's backed everything I've said and only really chosen to say, "You have the intelligence of a pear." Second update 1 month later. Things have gone south even further. At this point, my husband and I have been blocked on all social media, and our numbers have been blocked, but communication with Ollie has continued. Ollie gave us Bree's parents' email address to send an email to, but before using that, I asked him to video chat Bree with me present. I wanted to ask Bree to please get her parents so I could talk to them about this. I also planned to tell her that if they were going to continue refusing communication, I would be blocking all contact with Ollie until this is resolved. I told Ollie this before the call. At first, he flipped out, but it was this or I cut communication completely. I do think he understood that it's not okay for her parents to be speaking to me through minors, and he said himself that he would like us to talk to each other. Bree joined the call and hung up when she saw I was there too. Ollie called back a few times, and she didn't answer. She asked via text why I wanted to talk to her. Ollie told her that I wanted to speak to her mother and that if we didn't resolve the communication issue, all contact would be ended until her parents made contact with us. He explained we needed to make a plan for the next few months, including a DNA test and birth arrangements. He also said that if the baby is his, we will travel there for the birth and stay for the first few weeks. He told her that I personally think it probably is his baby but that I want to be sure and ensure everything is done right from the start. Well, Bree blocked him with a reply, and he is totally heartbroken. He's not eating and is spending all day and night just sitting in his room. Surprisingly, he's not mad at me, just very, very sorry for himself and to us, sad about everything, and I think regretful. He even asked me if there was a way to undo it for himself. I haven't talked about signing over rights, a male termination, as his father called it, because I think he's just upset right now. A mutual friend of Bree and Ollie's here in our hometown showed him a few posts she made in the last 24 hours. Things like "It's you and me against the world," baby girl, and memes about deadbeat dads. She also announced the pregnancy, which she hadn't done yet, and the post included some single mother facts and quotes. Ollie's friends knew about the situation, and a few were under the impression he had dumped her and the baby based on the posts. But when he explained what had happened, they all rallied for him in the comments. I said not to, and now she's blocked them, and we can't see what she's posted. This is just a nightmare. I had a plan personally, not set, but something I wanted to talk to her parents about. At this point, I don't even want to waste my time. Ollie gave us Bree's parents' email address to send an email with the proposed plan. Basically, Bree does a DNA blood test. We will pay the full $1,500 for it. If it is his baby, we can book flights and plan to be there for the first month. I'll stay too with Ollie, maybe even the whole family, and then we can work on a parenting plan and getting into mediation for a judge to sign off on it. Ollie's father and I split for the first 7 months of his life, so we've done this before and know the process. But at this point, I think I will just let it settle before sending an email. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. So what you're saying is that the most immature people in this situation are Bree's parents. I expect teenagers to make questionable decisions, although generally not to the extent of get pregnant on purpose so we can force people to move, but the parents are a whole new level of WTF. Ops response. I am wondering if Bree has somehow maybe manipulated the situation there. I couldn't imagine being like this, and the family I met before did not appear this irrational in the past. Commenter 2. You asked for a DNA test and they blocked you everywhere. To me, that's an admission of guilt. If she had nothing to hide and wanted your son to be a father to her child, a DNA test would be a non-issue. There are strong suspicions she was already pregnant when she got back together with your son. I think she wanted a better baby daddy and is trying to trap your son. Good on you for standing your ground. DNA test before anything else. I'd stop the contact now until DNA is confirmed. This whole situation will mess up your kid's mental health, and there's a 50-50 chance he won't be the father and can walk away, but that'll be easier if he doesn't invest time into it now. Tell him to get a job and start saving. If he's off the hook, he can pay back the $1,500 for the DNA test. Commenter 3. Is her social media public or private? If it's public, then sign out. Some social media sites let you see posts without being a member. Then you can track what she posts. Are you even sure she is actually pregnant? Is she showing yet? Has she sent ultrasound photos? She could be lying about being pregnant in the first place. The fact she blocked your son and his friends shows it's probably not his. Hopefully your son realizes how horrible this girl and her family really are. Ops response. Her parents confirmed she was pregnant. She is not really showing, no. She sent an ultrasound photo, but it's a photo of a photo. I wanted to keep access to her social media to see if she uploaded one that showed more information so I could check the dates. I will see if your advice works. Third update 4 days later. Someone suggested I repost the update because they didn't see it until now, so I am. Update again June 3rd. Ollie's friend was able to see her Instagram through an old account. They found the pregnancy announcement post, and if you scrolled across, it showed a digital copy of the scan Bree sent us as a 16-week scan, apparently the first scan she had at the OB. That is dated April 4th and clearly says GA19 plus 3 weeks, making for an August due date, I believe, or very early September. This does not line up with the due date given to us but does match when her parents told me she was pregnant, mid-April. They told us, we've had the pregnancy confirmed, and sent a photo of the printed scan, which didn't include the date. I actually think it may have been cut off the top. I haven't told Ollie this yet because I want to be sure. I am very concerned about his mental health at the moment and am taking that into consideration. But unless she gave the wrong period dates and the baby measured only 16 weeks, then it's not possible for it to be our son's. Also added information, her due date, from what we know, is September 22nd. She was here from December 20th to January 7th and saw Ollie on December 21st and 22nd and January 4th and 5th. Never overnight. I asked Ollie when this happened, and he said January 4th was the only time, which makes more sense as they were in public gatherings otherwise. They were at a mutual friend's birthday that night but never stayed overnight. I've had 5 kids, and I know the dates are too close to figure it out that way. Ollie also said that the joke Bree made was to just see if it happens, the pregnancy, because then it's obviously meant to be and he would be able to move. To me, it sounds like she had the plan a lot longer, but I may be biased here. Fourth update 12 days later. I spoke to Bree's biological father, who lives in this town, and he had no idea about any of this. Before you come for me, there was no known DV or anything. I felt I had run out of options at this point and just wanted a way to contact them. Bree's mother then made contact, agreed to the blood test if we paid for it. Ollie and Bree spoke again, and Bree asked to come here for a holiday and have an ultrasound with him to prove dates in person. I agreed to this, but I may not be thinking straight with all the stress we've been under. She says she is 26 weeks, sent him a photo of her belly, which has grown, and told him there's no other option but him to be the father, that the ultrasound had to go by her last period date and she didn't remember, so she used the period before based on her app. That's why the dates are off on the scan. I asked if she had a physical booklet of pregnancy notes or something, because I know from experience they include all the confirmed information, but she said everything is digital with her doctor and I didn't want to push, since it's not my medical information. I'm wondering if I should just fly her out here on my own terms. Her mother agreed, and do the blood test and ultrasound here to put an end to all of this. Fifth update 10 days later. We all came to a travel arrangement. We paid for Bree to fly out, and her father was paying for the return ticket. Bree was supposed to fly to us this morning and stay for 6 weeks total, flying back sometime in August. Her father is in charge of that flight. She was staying with us over the next few weeks while we do our annual July 4th family vacation for a week, and then a couple more weeks back here at home for the ultrasound and blood test. This was decided together, both families, because Bree and Ollie wanted to have some kind of positive experience or memories during the pregnancy. Obviously, if the baby wasn't his, Bree would be taken to her father's, and we would be finished with it all. But she never turned up for her flight. She texted the night before saying that her doctor did not recommend travel, as she is at risk of preterm labor due to her age, and her severe morning sickness means she can only tolerate pineapple juice. She said she needs to be hospitalized and may even deliver early. This is on top of a group photo that included Bree, obviously pregnant in a tight tee, hugging the boy she was dating in her new town, with his hand on her belly. It was quickly removed from her story when Ali asked about it. I think it was intentional to make him jealous. I am done. I do not believe her or her parents. I have contacted a lawyer and therapist. I will not be updating again until I know the outcome of the DNA test, which I assume will not be done until after the baby is born, since I was told today that I cannot force her to take one while pregnant. If this baby is Ollie's and my grandchild, I am willing to move Bree here and have her live with us. It has no chance and will continue to ruin my son's life from afar. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Okay, I'm currently pregnant. Let me break down how everything this girl said is a lie. They would ask for the last menstrual period at the first appointment, but it would be very obvious from the first scan, and all subsequent scans, if that was off by 4 weeks. Once this is confirmed, they would adjust the due date and gestational age, GA. So if the scan says 19 plus 3, that's based on fetal development, not oh, this is when I last remember having a period. She is setting the stage for saying she had the baby early due to stress from them. Commenter 2. Yep, the longer this goes, the less things add up, and the daughter's parents know it. Hence why they were only communicating with Ali, as he's much easier to guilt and manipulate.